Hello, I'm Dan Alasso, and this is going to be a quick hypothesis how-to and an introduction to the app. There are several elements of learning that I want to address this semester in my classes, in addition to presenting you with some data and some interpretations from our past. Since I understand that only a very few people in most of my survey courses, if anyone at all, is ever going to really become a historian, I want to take that into account. And so I think it's very important for me to try to make the past relevant to your present and ultimately to your future. And that's a goal that I have mentioned and I've talked about elsewhere. A related goal, though, is also to provide you with the best tools and techniques that I can that you can use to learn not only history, but whatever else you may be interested in throughout your life. You've probably heard old people say that the things that they learned in school when they were young, whatever level of education they completed, those things really didn't prepare them all that well for all the changes that they ultimately lived through in their careers or just in their day-to-day lives. And there's absolutely no reason to expect that the pace of change is going to slow down with new technologies available now like generative AI. There's really no telling what any of us might be doing in 5 or 10 or 20 or 50 years. The best things we can do, I think, are to learn how to learn and also to practice discussing ideas with other people rationally and without the type of toxic emotion that we often see today. And one of the tools that I use to do both those things, which I'm really excited about showing you and introducing you to this semester and giving you a chance to practice with it, is a free app called Hypothesis. It allows you to read online documents, things like websites, ebooks, and even PDFs, to highlight them and to comment on what you've read, either just for your own benefit privately or in conversation with others. I use it regularly when I read. Sometimes I make private notes for myself that only I can see so that I can return later and build on those ideas and incorporate them into my knowledge. Other times to engage with other people who have also read the same material and have had a chance to think about it and maybe have had something to say about it. I've had several really rewarding interactions with people all over the world in this way. And I've found other people interested in some of the same things that fascinate me. Friendships and new insights have resulted. So what we're going to do with Hypothesis in this semester, however, will be a little bit more focused. Although once you have the app, you're, of course, free to use it however you want for your own interests for the rest of your life. For the course, we're going to use it in a private setting where your interactions with texts and with each other will only be visible to members of this private group that I create. You won't have to worry that anything you say is going to be out there on the web for people to see forever. So this will be a safe space where you'll be able to try out ideas, and hopefully you'll be comfortable going out on a limb a little bit from time to time. So now I'm going to show you how to get the free Hypothesis account and set it up. There are about 8 steps. The first thing to know is that Hypothesis works best with the Chrome browser. There are some other kind of kludgy plugins that you can use, but Chrome is really the way to go. So that's step 1. If you don't have Chrome, please get it. Once you've done that, from Chrome, go to the Hypothesis website, that's Hypothes.is, and hit the Get Started button. This will offer you an option to download the LMS version or the free web app. You're going to want the Get Started with the web app button. It will then ask you to create an account. I'm assuming that you don't already have one. Next, when you're setting up your account, please do use something close enough to your real name that I will be able to recognize you so that I can give you credit for the work that you do. First name, last name is usually a good idea. I use Dan Alasso. But If your name is super long, maybe first initial last name might work. It will also ask you for your email and your password. I don't need to know these things. That's between you and the app. Once you have set up your account, close and restart Chrome and then go back to Hypothesis and log in. Go back to the start page and scroll to step 2. Choose Add Extension. And then at the next page that it takes you to, install the extension. Then, once you've done that, probably not a bad idea to close and reopen Chrome once again, and then go to the Manage Extensions page in Chrome and choose the Details on the Hypothesis tab. And on that extension details page that comes up, turn the extension on, and then also turn on the other 3 options. The Pin to Toolbar option, the Allow in Incognito option, and then most importantly, the Allow Access to File URLs option. And this will get you everything that you need. This will also create a little extension sign at the top right of your browser. Another thing that you should do once you've gone through this whole process is click on the URL that I'm going to send you separately, which will invite you into the private group. And that's pretty much it. Congratulations, you're ready to go. And so now I will demonstrate how it works. So once you've got Hypothesis, when you open a document in Chrome, such as a chapter of the textbook, you'll actually be able to see the number of annotations that have already been made in the document. Click the extension sign at the top right, and the Hypothesis sidebar will become visible. And then click on the arrow to open it. Part of what we're going to do each week is to begin our discussion of the week's content by highlighting and commenting on a chapter of the text. I'll be lecturing on the same content, and there will be an audio that you can use to listen along. But whatever form of media you choose to use to consume the information, you will also be responsible to engage with it and to add your own thoughts to the discussion and comment on the thoughts of your classmates. Typically, the assignment for most readings will be to make 4 original comments on the reading, and then to respond to at least 2 comments that other people have made. This might vary slightly from time to time, depending on the reading. I will drop additional videos explaining other elements of the course and other tools that we will be using, but I think that this should allow you to get started with Hypothesis and get it set up and working before we have to use it. And before I'll begin looking for things that you've done in Hypothesis in the chapters. So if you have any problems doing any of this, get in touch with me and I will walk you through the process, either in person or over Zoom. So I hope this made sense. I hope it was interesting to you, and I hope you completed these steps successfully. Thanks for watching. I will see you again very soon.